What's up, icons? It's the iconic fashion figure. I'm just gonna jump into it. Let's get into fabrics and prints for men's fashion fall winter 2022.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
So last week I went through with you guys. What did I do last week? I don't remember what I was talking to you guys about last week. Oh, I was going through the fashion trends, figuring out my inspiration mood board, figuring out the key items for fall winter 2022 men's fashion. For those of you that are just jumping into this series, I am currently in the process of designing my men's wholesale clothing line, and I'm taking you through step by step on the journey. So last week we figured out the key items that I wanted to design into, and now this week I need to figure out the fabrics. I try to figure out the fabrics I want to use before actually starting to sketch, because I kind of need to know what fabrics I'm using and what design features, what trims and whatnot I can use on those fabrics before I actually create the designs. So first I'm going to show you guys this article on some of the fashion trends as far as fabrics from moodfabrics.com. Mood Fabrics is a fabric store, but they also have a blog on their website, so they kind of touch on the trend report when it comes to the fabrics. So one of the fabrics that they point out for men's fashion fall winter 2022 is the shearling and faux fur, which we talked about that in the trends video last week, but that's one that they touched on, and they even give you some design options for those fabrics too. So like the bayberry coat and the hydrus coat. They also gave some other like key items like the loose pants. But another fabric that they talk about is the faux leather, which we talked about last week as well. And then they get into the prints also, because when I do my fabrics, I also look into prints at the same time. Fabrics and prints for me kind of like go hand in hand. So with the men's prints, it's a lot of all over prints, which we touched on last week when we talked about, you know, the jacquards and the tapestry. Those are the only three that they touched on in this article, but we also talked about in previous videos the premium fleece. Then we have the shearling, we have the faux fur, the all over prints. I think those are the main fabrics that I want to focus on anyway. Now I do have what I call my fabric Bible. This is the book that I got back in school when I went to school for fashion, and we had to create this book of different swatches that we can go back and reference fabrics for. So since I've never done men's, I'm going to go through this book and look to see what fabrics I want to use for my men's clothing. And in this book, it tells you, which I'll give you guys a close-up of it, but it tells you like the fabric name, content, the construction of it, the weight of that type of fabric, and then what it's typically used for. So for those of you that may not be as familiar with fabrics and you're designing a line, you're not sure what to use it for, this fabric Bible, as I call it, is the go-to. I will put the name of the book in the description in case you can find it online. I'm sure you can. The only thing is it doesn't come with the swatches in there. Back in school we actually had to go and put the fabrics in here, but at least if you have the Bible you can look to see the type of name and the uses, the weights and all that stuff. So if you're trying to figure out, let's say you're designing a blazer and you're not sure exactly what fabric to use for a blazer, you can flip through here and find the uses and it'll tell you what fabric to use for a blazer. So I need to go do a one-on-one call right now and then eat something because I'm starving, and then I'm going to take you guys through this book and start figuring out some fabrics that I want to use for my men's line. So when I came back, I completely forgot to turn my mic back on. So you guys are going to see me talking right here and there's no sound. Like it's not matching what I'm saying right now because I'm doing a voiceover. So I'm going to fast forward through this little portion and then go to the part where I'm actually taking you through the book as I'm looking at the fabrics, because I did record that on my phone. So you can at least hear the sound that recorded from my phone. Sorry if this is not steady. You guys can see how I'm recording right now because I don't feel like getting up to get my little arm thing clamp this to my desk. But the first page, it shows you the fibers, because when you see the content, you'll see the content type, but a lot of people don't understand what that is. So if you see here, it has the different content types, the yarn constructions, the raw fibers. So you have cotton, and then this one's a yarn that's also cotton. And then you have polyester. And then this page has a muslin on it, which would also be cotton. And then it goes more into the fibers if you want to learn more about the fibers. And here is probably a page I would want to go to if I'm doing the business casual look. So if I start doing any blazers, because this is more for like suiting, which this one is actually nice, kind of rough though, and lightweight. The one thing you want to remember when you're doing like suiting, blazers, anything like that, you also have the lining that will go inside of it. So it may feel too lightweight, but when you add the lining, that's when it may become heavier. That color scheme is actually cute too, along the lines of what I'm doing. But let's see what else. I don't think I want anything with wool or silk. Yeah, nothing there. Okay, here we go, fabric types, because now we're at plain weaves. So these aren't ones that I'll need, not for men's. These are basket weave, what you would use for like this one here. You can see the uses for pants and jackets. So a basket weave, something you could use for a blazer, but this is not necessarily what I want to use. And then there's different variations of the weave. And as you can see, these ones are for shirting. That is probably what I'll go with, is like a twill for the casual wear, like the business look. Probably do like a twill. I don't want anything satin for men's. So clearly I was just doing too much today. Now you guys can see why I don't record while working. At first, I forgot to turn the mic on when I came back to record, and then for whatever reason, the recording that I did on my phone, it stopped. So I lost the rest of the footage of me showing you guys the fabrics that I actually chose for men's. So now I have this footage that has no sound, and then I don't have the footage from my phone that's actually showing you the fabrics that I picked. So I'm just gonna fast forward through this, and when I go to design, you guys will see the fabrics that I chose. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump on to the next thing. Next is going to be colors. So again, my mic wasn't on for this portion of the footage. I don't even remember what I was talking about in this video. Probably wasn't necessary anyway for you guys to even know. I think I was talking about previous color trends that I've already talked about in previous videos. So again, I'm going to fast forward through this, and we're going to go into Pantone.com, where I'll talk about the colors for men's fashion fall winter 2022. So right now I have the New York Fashion Week fall winter 2022 color trends up. So I'm going to go through those, look at those colors, and see what Pantone is predicting as the colors. Already this lineup is cute that I see on the screen. Of course, it's mostly women's, but I can take these colors and make them work for men's. I don't have to use every single color that they predict. I just use the ones that work for me. So right off the bat, they have like these bright colors, the red, yellow, orange, and then they have some more muted colors. This caramel cafe is one that I can work with. The midnight and the martini olive, those are definitely colors that I want to use for men's. I may do something along the bright lines, but for right now, as I mentioned in the previous video, I want to go a little more neutral with my colors. They have Polar Night, Lot and Frost, maybe a good one. We have the gray in here. So those are all the colors that they have for fall winter 2022. That is from the New York Fashion Week. There's also the London one, which I've already looked at. These colors probably more closer to what I'm doing for men's. They're a little more muted. But when I went through, the colors are pretty close. The main difference that I noticed is like this purple that wasn't in the New York Fashion Week one. The colors on here, like that pink, this blue. If you look here, the London Fashion Week is a little darker of shades, which would be better for me if I were to use those colors. And then this here would be what I need for my men's, because that's more on those neutral colors, like I said, that I would be using here as well. But that's all of them that they have. Now, when I did my mood board in the last video, I had already started gathering colors just from the trim reports that I was using in that video. So I kind of have an idea of my colors. But I'm going to go ahead and put together right now my color scheme for my men's. Now I'm in Canva and I just want to create my color scheme for my men's fall winter. So all I do is take a square and I'm going to use the eyedropper to pick up all of these colors that I want to use for men's. So let me duplicate that one. So already I have that navy in there. Let's pick up the gray. Oh, I want to add black because I'm sure I'll be using black. And what I like to do is get these in order. What other colors? I'll probably add in one of those lighter grays. Definitely do like that shade of blue because I did like that when I saw it on the runway. We'll do this lighter gray too. So those are like my darker colors. Let me lift this up because otherwise my camera will keep going out of focus and it'll be dark. But those are like my neutral colors on like the black scale. Now I want to do more of like the browns, which I'm going to do another layer. And I am missing the chocolate brown, but okay, let's just work with what I got here for right now. Oh, I can delete that picture. So those are the screenshots from Pantone's website, so I can just eyedrop it and get the colors I need. Let's go ahead, and then once I have the colors I need, I just delete it off. Let's pick up this color here, and then we're going to pick up, is there one over here? Let's do this one. Do I need one of these? Let's see. Yeah, it is a tad bit lighter. I wonder if I should throw in this pink with that lineup. Okay, there's those. And then I'm gonna do like my actual like bright accent colors. We'll add in, I'll probably have to reorganize these ones. Definitely this color. We'll add in this green here. I can delete this. Kinda want to do something with this brighter orange. Let's make another row for the bright colors in case I do something more on the bright side, but it's not too bright. This one, do I want to do something with that blue? Definitely adding in the mustard, and then I probably do need a red since it is fall. And then up here I may just add jade in there. Now the one color that I'm missing that was seen a lot on the runway is that purple. I don't have any purple in there. I'm gonna add this picture in there so I can get that color. I think I've gotten that yellow. I have an olive on there. There's blue in there. This color's not necessarily on there. It's close to that one, but that one's a little different, so I'll see which one I like more. And then I think I'm good on the other color. I don't know if I need to necessarily add that color because this one's pretty close. Let's see which one looks best. Do like that, but it's like the in-between of those two. So probably leave those so that they are a little different. I'll let go of this one. And those will be the colors I'll work with. So I have like my black scale with the black, the grays, and then like that steel blue in there. I have my nudes in there. And then I have my traditional fall colors, the deep red, the burnt orange. I have a blue in there, olive and mustard yellow. And then some accent colors to throw in there, the purple, a brighter orange, a lighter blue, and the jade. So these will be the colors that I'll play with when I go to design. Now I need to figure out what prints I want to do. I've seen a lot of like this print here, which I showed you guys in the last video. They're almost like a floral look, but I want to see what other prints are on the men's runway. So let me go back to that. Since I didn't show you guys Pinterest last video, that's usually another place I go to get inspiration. I'm gonna go on Pinterest this week. So let me search fall winter 2022 prints. And let's see what prints are on the runway that I can use for fall winter. Of course, it's showing a lot of women, so maybe let's put in men's. Okay, so now we got a lot of men's in here that I can go through and look at. I don't even know for sure if I'm going to do anything with prints or if I'm just sticking with solids, but I want to see, oh, I like this. Oh, I can't zoom in on here. I like that. I want to see if there are prints on here that I may want to play with. Uh-oh. This one's, no, not that. This one's cute too. Now, when it comes to prints and you're looking for inspiration to use on your prints, you want to be careful not to completely steal someone's print because you can be sued for that. If you're going to find prints online, let's say you're looking at trim reports and there's prints in there, or you find some artwork on Pinterest when you're looking at inspiration and you want to use those prints, you want to make sure you recreate those prints so they're your own. Don't steal the artwork exactly how it is because you can be sued for selling someone else's artwork. So next week I'll show you guys how to create your own prints because that's when I'll be more on the computer actually doing the designing. So you guys will see me creating my own prints and stuff before I actually design my sketches, because then I'll take those prints and apply it to the designs that I create. So right now I'm just looking for inspiration, which, as I stated, this one I like. I'm gonna screenshot so I don't have to go back. This is kind of cute. There's usually on Pinterest, just like on all the other websites, they have the trend reports, but I'm not seeing them. Oh my gosh, hair. There are a bunch under women's, but I don't see too many under men's, so maybe men's isn't wearing as many prints, although I know for sure plaid was on the runway. Trying to think what other, a lot of like this whole look, even though that's a female, that was on the runway. Trying to think what else I saw. Here we go again. See a lot of this look here. Just screenshot it. I like that. I'm not seeing too many prints. Yeah, I think for the most part with men's, they seem to be mainly solid colors, which is good with me. I'm perfectly okay with that. Here's a print. Yeah, I'm not going to do too much with prints with men's because I'm not seeing too much. So I'm going to stick to what I originally had planned, which was doing solid colors anyway. But I'll still show you guys in the next video because I'm going to test out a couple prints. So I'll show you guys what I do there in next week's video. And that's it for this week's video. Now I have my inspiration, I have my fabrics, I have my prints, I have my colors, and I have my key items too. That is most important. I can't believe I almost forgot to even say that. So my next thing to do is get into actually designing this stuff so I can start creating those tech packs too and get this sent out to the factory so I can start getting those samples in. This is when things start getting real because I've now done all the research, all the planning, figuring everything out, and now it's time to start putting it all into action. So now that all the easy work, all the researching is out of the way, let's get serious about this and get this men's clothing line designed. Thank you guys for watching.